Hi everyone, today I'm super excited to share my journey in the Gradio Hackathon. I will walk you through my project idea. Actually, I won't go into too deep into my project idea as much as the technical stack um, and how I'm leveraging some of the tools to bring my project to life. Like, I'm pretty new to this stack, but I hope this inspires you or sparks some idea for your own project. So, if you have some tips or better approaches, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, so let's dive in. In general, like my idea is since I have like a little kid who loves to listen to stories, I'm building a tool that generates interactive story based on the kid's preference. Of course, it's built on, yeah, based on the kid's preference, it's built on Gradio, Modal for hosting some sound models, Mistral, Nimbus, and Sambanova to use some text LLMs there. Yeah, in general, this is my my app so far. I'm still trying to develop. So if you say like you're searching for cat story, and then yeah, specify some parameters, it will generate the story, and then based on this story, you can generate some image prompts for that, and then it splits that into small chapters to read and also generate a sound. I'm actually not going into details. I won't go into details for this. Um, but it just wanted to share like my my setup and the tools I'm using so that we gain knowledge from each other. Or I will focus more on techniques and technicality here. So I've been using Klein for coding. Yeah, first up, the coding backbone. Our hackathon like gives us some powerful APIs, and I'm using Klein to hook up LLMs. Yeah, I'm actually new to this, and I'm really loving it. So the way I'm using it, like I don't know if you have used Klein. I'm not like here, here, yeah, promoting some of the tools, but I'm really impressed by how fast and how cool it is. So here I'm using like really I've been using like some Anthropic APIs from the stuff that we got. This is really I'm using it for heavy duty complex coding tasks, and it's really amazing. So um, yeah, you can define your model here, the different models, and then the API key in Klein, and then you just yeah, asks it to generate some code for you. You can also I've been using also Mistral, which is really also for small, I would say, straightforward tasks. So this is really cool, and then you can select like different also models. One thing was really that really mind blowing is that Anthropic is really burning a lot of a lot of tokens here. So be careful when using like different models that are really expensive or yeah, use a lot. So use it strategically, I would say. Yeah, that's one thing. The other thing I've been using other than within Klein is like this. You see like manage MCP servers. So if you click on this, you can add some documentation. Like you simply just add the configuration and then go to remote servers, and then you add the MCP server. So in here I installed the Gradio MCP server, which give you like actual up-to-date documentation. Also context 7, I think it's really nice also for documentation that you, if you want to use this, you just uh, go to your client and then set to it, for instance, use for I don't know, like you have some certain error, you say use the context 7 Gradio documentation, and then this will use the latest documentation for Gradio. Therefore, it will give you up-to-date code. Yeah, that's mostly really helpful to generate some up-to-date code. And one advice is like, really, I advise you to really um, use Git, because sometimes client mess up your code. So just use Git to revert some files or discard some changes. Yeah, that's mostly it for my coding environment. For the next thing, yeah, Claude burns credit fast. Client tips like include Gradio documentation in the context, use Git often. And then the next subject I want to talk about is Gradio. Um, like as you all know, probably, like it's the star of the hackathon. It helps you create some sleek UI interfaces and focus on the AI part. Yeah, like the Gradio best practices I've seen is like security. I mean, you can use .env files for the API keys. Yeah, I mean, in your Gradio setting, you can just define some secrets, and then use them in your um, code. Like I'm using the Sambanova API key and Mistral API key, etc. So you don't want to write your API keys directly inside the code base. Yeah, I have probably some example here. Yeah, example is like I'm using the API key variable, like with the OS environment.get, like I'm defining .env file with this environment variable, and then I'm using that direct in my code. I know this is maybe trivial, but just to remind myself and others not to use and hard code your API keys directly in the code. Yeah, one other thing is really fasten up the development is running Gradio locally. Like here, I'm running the Gradio locally, and one thing really nice is like you can do it with Gradio and then the name and then the entry point app.py, and this will keep refreshing the whenever you do some changes, so you don't have to run your app again. Yeah, debugging terminal logs are expressive. Yeah, Gradio components, it's really rich our library. Like you have drop downs, audio, chat, text boxes, etc. And then you can definitely check the documentation of Gradio. Yeah, the next thing I would say, yeah, here you can see I still have like some Modal logo, but this is generated by a LLM, so I didn't have a lot of time to check everything. But yeah, for Modal, it's really cool. Like it's really nice thing to have. I mean, sorry, just to jump, I have prepared some links, but just to tell you, like from 25 I just have left $14, which is like Anthropic is really eating a lot of resources. Yeah, for Modal, this is really one of the coolest thing that we have, is like we had like $250 or something in credit. And in Modal, it's like having your personal cloud, and then it's like the good thing about it is that it's inference, so it's like functions calling. In here I'm using Modal um, like to host the sound LLM that I have. I'm hosting this Dia, which is like Nari Lab, and this is like the model I'm hosting on Modal. It's really yeah, they already, I think, have inference, but just wanted to do the thing my own. Yeah, I mean, it's actually really straightforward. You just define the model that you want. Um, you have the image on the server. In here it's like Debian server, and then you define the pip install, which packages you want to install. It's really straightforward, and then we just load the model. In here it's like from Git, and then we are loading it. The next thing I'm using is that I have like some cache, not to load the model every time. For that, we are using the volume. Actually, if you go to Modal, they have like a storage, and then you can see like here I have the model cache, which is like caching up the model, so you don't have to download it every time. And then yeah, don't forget to use environment variables. I'm here like using the cache directory, so it's not like something that I'm exposing my code or anything. But you can use also the secrets. In some of the examples I was using like Hugging Face secret, so I was just I have like here a Hugging Face that you can use as well with os.environ. You can edit it, etc., like hash f token. uh, yeah the next thing after loading the model is where am I? Okay, model dot enter, and then we have the model method. It's really actually one line that you generate the sound with the model self.model.generate, and then you specify like the different parameters, and at the end this is like the function that generates. And one really cool thing is that you can really expose your LLM function as a API. I'm here exposing it with fast API. I can show you. You see here. I will bring um, my postman, and if I call my function to generate a file, and then I give it like I give it a prompt text, it will generate me a file. In here I just generated the file already. Like it took me 1 minute. I don't want to keep you waiting for 1 minute for that, but I mean, if you run it.
This was the home of the Whisker Wizards, a group of magical cats with shimmering fur and
anyways. So you generate that, and if I want to run it again, one really cool thing about Modal is that if I send it, it's now sending the API code that you can really see it in action. So you can, I'm actually running a GPU here, and then you can specify really different GPUs. They have really lot of GPUs here. I don't want to really expose my my GPU, so I'm using like a below average A10G. But as I told you, like if you go to the model, because I just ran a request, and you can see it like running. You can see the execution, you can see the logs. So it's really amazing. I'm really loving Modal, and I will try to advance on that on the next hours, I would say days, that I have to develop. That's it's really cool, like to host your own models and try things out, especially with a lot of credits that I really like. um Other than that, I mean, just one thing about model. I mean, let me just go back here to see what. $250 credit from the hackathon. Host the model and expose it via API, pay-per-use, analytics, storage. We talked about that. Setting up Modal, create an OS image specify package, load and cache the model through the GPU. You can choose whatever GPU we want. Export the model over HTTP, and the analytics is really nice. You can monitor the GPU usage and performance. That's mostly it about here you can see 200. Okay. You can do a lot of stuff with Modal that I will leave you to explore that. The next thing, the Hacking Face interface. For this, what I wanted to say is that this is really cool because you can use this in your MCP. They have like you can use this like in your MCP also with tiny agents, so you can actually specify you can specify in Hugging Face, because we have like Nebius AI Studio and Sambanova. You can define your key. I mean, if you go to settings and then you go to inference providers, you can define your API key there, and then use them in different models. Yeah, I was using that for in the agent. So if I say like here Nebius, and then I have some MCP that I want to see its tools, for instance, then I can just like do npx. Let me try that. I think I clear. If I do like npx, let me copy paste it not to mess things up. So if I do this, it should give you the tools of Hugging Face MCP. And since we're talking about inference, I think you can ask what are the most creative spaces. Hope it works. Yeah, so here we are using and then it's like asking the MCP to give you some responses. So here, if we go back, if we go back here, you can see that my Nebius less than a minute ago was used. So one cool thing about inference is that, I mean, you can use them definitely in other stuff than MCP, but and there is a lot of documentation here. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool that you can add your own keys for the different providers. Yeah, that's mostly what I have to say for the about like Hugging Face inference, but there is a lot of information there. Yeah, that's mostly it what I wanted to share. I'm actually also trying to use at the moment, well, I mean, the next step for me would, I mean, the lesson learned. Okay, let me be more structured. I mean, the lesson learned here is more. I burned some credits with Claude, but I really like the output. Be careful when using like the agents. Plan API usage better. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It also embrace the learning curve. That's a really important. It's part of the fun, and yeah, I would say uh, yeah, I'm also planning actually to use Llama index to clean PDF, and I mean they have like this parse and extract. So since I have like yeah, I will try to use that for my when parents, like for example, enter a PDF about some, I don't know, museum flyer or something. I want to test that with parse and extract. Hope I would have some time for that. Um, yeah, and that's yeah, and one other thing that I want to use, maybe that I want to share like for the next step, is like I will try also to use some guardrails from, I think, Mistral and LLM and Llama have some guardrails, like to check the type of the story, if it's adequate or not for the kids. So that's also on my to-do list. Yeah, um thank you for for watching, and hope this video sparks some ideas for you and your own projects, and I'm excited to see other projects. If you got some tips for a newbie like me, share those too. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you.